In today's video, I'm gonna explain the steps I take when I'm trying to go from looking like this and then where I lost 30 pounds of body fat, getting rid of the lower back fat, and I look like this. You see guys, there are some steps you have to take, even if you've lost a lot of weight, and I'm gonna explain it right now. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Rebella from ProPhysique.com. In today's video, I wanna break down the idea of getting rid of that last stubborn fat, the lower abdomen, the lower back for men. I get this question so frequently from you guys, and that's why I make these videos, because I feel like even though I've done this topic a few times, I like to explain it in a different way because I'm coming from different directions. But ultimately, the most common thing I see is that somebody is on a weight loss journey. And this gentleman that asked me my question in my Instagram direct message sounds like myself, maybe 15 years ago before I ever did a bodybuilding competition, and I would always get stuck until I learned some valuable lessons. So the idea that we're gonna lose body fat is going to lead us to get to a place where we're probably, even though we thought we would have been happy, we're not. Meaning, you might say to yourself, man, I just wanna get to 200 pounds. This gentleman was 230 pounds. I just wanna get to 200. I promise you, we get to the place we think we wanna be and we go, you know what? Just another 10 pounds, just another 5 pounds. And then we get stuck. So let me read the question that this guy asked because it's very specific and detailed, and I'm gonna give some very specific and detailed advice. I'm hoping you can help me. I'm 6'1", currently 175 pounds on my cut journey down from 230 pounds on my bulk. Took that too far. I'm on a 2,000 calorie a day, 200 grams of protein, 100 grams of carb, 50 grams of fat, walking every morning for 1 hour, and then doing 45 minutes of incline walking after weights. I seem to have hit a wall. The fat around my lower back and obliques won't seem to budge. Listen, man, first of all, thank you for all the detail, because by explaining to me how many calories you're taking in, explaining to me how much weight you've lost, and explaining to me your daily activity, guys, you can see this guy's picture. He looks ridiculous, right? From the front, shredded, but he's got some lower back fat. Most guys aren't really gonna see that lower back fat come off to the very end. My favorite analogy is the paper towel roll analogy, meaning as much as we want the paper towels at the end of the paper towel roll to come off, they don't come off till all the body fat on the outside comes off, right? That's all the body fat on our bodies. This is gonna be the last little bit, right? Preferentially, this is where the body fat is gonna be stored. The lower abdomen, the lower back, the love handles. And some guys might have different places. I've seen some people store more body fat on their chest, glutes, things like that. But for everybody, there's going to be areas that come off last. And no matter who you are, that's the part that you're gonna hate the most, right? You're gonna hate guys that just have this shredded lower back, but they're gonna hate the fact that you have shredded abs or something. So I've seen all body types. As a coach for more than a decade now, I've been coaching athletes. I've seen all types of changes in the human body, but I will say for myself and for most men, the lower back seems to be the most difficult part. And once you've been in a deficit for as long as you've been in one, there's some adaptations that occur. I've talked in many videos about adaptive thermogenesis. We think of it as the metabolism adapting. But thinking about it in terms of how our body works, it's so dynamic. When you lose, as you've done, 55 pounds of body fat, you require less calories to maintain your weight. Therefore, your body adapts. But along the way, a lot of other adaptations occur. And so as you hit these sticking points, you've obviously increased your cardio output, decreased your caloric intake. However, the real magic, and I'm gonna give you some real specifics for you, is going to be taking a diet break. That's right, a week of recovery where we bring your calories up to maintenance, bring your cardio down to maintenance, reestablish a little bit more calories in your daily routine, and that's gonna kick off some things that are gonna allow you to drop some weight. It's gonna actually increase some of the thermic effect of food. It's gonna increase some of the hormones that help us with fat loss, and it's gonna give you some more energy that's gonna increase your natural output throughout the day through NEAT or your non-exercise activity. When we've been dieting for a long time, when we lose a lot of body fat, we start to conserve energy. We don't even realize we're doing it. I look back at old videos when I was in prep and I realize my hands stop moving. I become very monotone and I talk like this. That's the conservation of energy. And as crazy it is to think about, there's actually research that shows that people that are more fidgety are less likely to store more body fat, because when you overfeed them, they just fidget more. So there is this natural inclination for some people to just avoid gaining weight because they just move more. Likewise, when you restrict calories, when you increase cardio, that means the rest of the day, you're going to be conserving some energy. So what I want you to do is follow these macros and this cardio for a week. Again, I'm hoping you'll direct message me, because what I'd love to do is a follow-up video. Some people in the comments have been saying maybe I should do some discussion in my videos of my clients, right? Because I've been coaching competitors and, people that don't compete, even lifestyle athletes, for more than a decade now. So I've got some crazy transformations. I don't really, discuss them publicly, but I could ask them if they're open to it. But the idea of someone in a direct message getting the direct benefit of this, I want you to follow this plan. So you told me you're on 200 protein, 100 carb, and 50 fat. Now you're a big dude. Looking at these pictures, you're definitely very muscular. So what I want you to do is stay at 200 protein. I want you to bring your carbs up to 170 grams. I want you to bring your fat up to 55 grams. I want you to cut down your first cardio session of the day from 1 hour to 30 minutes. And I want you to cut down your second cardio session from 45 minutes to 25 minutes, okay? So all in all, you're gonna be doing a little bit less cardio. You're gonna be doing a few more carbohydrates. This is my estimation based on my years of experience as a coach of what would be a maintenance for you. Now, you might look at the scale one day and go, wow, the scale's up. But you gotta remember something. When you consume carbohydrates, it stores water in glycogen in the muscle. So technically, you're actually adding lean body mass, but it's temporary. But what I often see when I do these diet breaks is after a few days, you start to get an increase in those hormone productions, an increase in the digestive process. You start to sleep a little bit deeper. Your NEAT goes up. Whatever all the factors are that cause it, I often see in a diet break, people start to drop weight again, where I'm able to actually continue to increase calories for a little bit. Or if they maintain for that entire week, if we go back on the previous plan where you're at 200 protein, 100 carb, 50 fat, and an hour, 45 minutes of cardio, you'll start to see a rapid decline in body fat. This process for me is essential for me to get my athletes down to 10%, 5%, 3% body fat, whatever I need to get them at to get them on stage to win competitions based on their division. For the men, there are certain criteria. For the women, there are certain criteria. My job as a coach is to understand that. I'm not going to bother you with that today, guys, but understand that I have to be able to make sure my athletes are able to sustain fat loss long enough to not only get lean, keep as much muscle as possible, but also when they get there, understand how to keep them there and feeling good. And then when the show is over or the competition is over or the fat loss diet is over, how to bring those calories back up and the cardio back down so they can maintain it. I would be a terrible coach if all I ever did was just grind everyone into the ground and leave them in a worse place than they were before we started. So that's really the process. Now, what I would do in your case is likely have at least 1 or 2 days a week where I do the macros that I gave you going forward. After this diet break phase, have at least 1, maybe 2 days a week where you're doing the 170 carbs, where you're doing the less cardio, right? Give those bumps throughout the week, especially when you're getting leaner and leaner. I find that the leaner you get, the more frequent these diet breaks need to be, okay? So at the beginning of a diet phase, I won't even do a diet break until we really hit a sticking point. Then I might do one every 6 weeks, every 4 weeks. Heck, by the time my competitors are stage lean, they're staying on diet breaks. They just bring their food up and drop the cardio down. It's really a magical thing. The body is so dynamic, it can be difficult to understand, but it takes someone like you that's actually being very accountable. Let me know how that goes. Hopefully this helps you guys in your journey to lose some of that lower back fat, to get to that next level of conditioning that you're after, that next level, right? That's what this channel is about, guys, helping you where you're at get to the next step. Talk to you guys tomorrow.